computer. I'm recording. So brilliant. Davina, we're recording. So my name's Kate Cherry, and I'm an independent consultant and brand ambassador with a beautiful company called Arbon. I'm also a regional director of the Athena Network, which is a women's business networking. And that is how I know the lovely Davina Farrer of Utility Warehouse. Hi, Davina.
Hi, Kate.
Wavy hands today. So the reason we've come online is because through our networking meetings, Davina told us a bit about a challenge she's doing. Is it called the plastic challenge? No, plastic.
No, I haven't really put a name to
I'm
it.
gonna, right. So the reason I wanted to come online with my Arbon hat on is because we're a B Corporation. We have been now for about 2.5 years, which means we've had to prove that we balance people, planet, and profit. And it also means that we have to prove transparency and certain sustainability measures, all sorts of parameters. Actually, it's quite in depth. Around recycling, sustainable sourcing of ingredients, not harming the planet while we're doing it, giving back, all of that. So we've brought in things like a partnership with TerraCycle to send back hard to recycle things. Like, for example, so you'd have like in a concealer, this bit, that would normally, people put it in the recycling, but it ends up in the bin or landfill, and then maybe that bit can be recycled. But so all of that, snack bar packs. This is complete. I didn't plan to have those there. I had that yesterday and hadn't thrown it away. But you can send those back rather than put them in the bin. So and the reason I wanted to chat with Davina is because I think last year or the year before, I call it the Plastics Programme came out. Everyone watched that. It was a series. I think we were all shocked to see burning rubbish that we thought went to recycling in Malaysia, really harming the people who live there, because our agreement with China about apparently sending our plastics was no longer in place since 2015 or something. So now it's sent to Malaysia, and some of the firms aren't doing what they're meant to be doing, so they're just burning it and just abandoning the warehouses, all that stuff. Plastics in the sea, we've all seen that. But there is kind of, as a household, a little element of, I put it in the recycling, it's fine. Or I did that, or I bought my veg in a little paper bag, it's fine. But there's so much more to that. There's so much more that we can do. So I'm really intrigued, Davina. First off, tell us what Utility Warehouse is, because some people might be watching this going, what, who, where?
Yeah, no, thank you. Utility Warehouse is a fantastic company, similar themes to Arbon, but basically we help people save money with those essential bills that we have to pay. And obviously there's an income opportunity exactly the same way. Like Kate was saying about sustainability, UW, that's really important with UW. And we've planting a forest in North Wales. So for every new customer who joins the company, we plant a tree, and we've done about 120 or so thousand trees this year. So we're really pleased. We're actually, and apparently our little forest is more trees than planted in the whole of Wales this year so far.
Oh, I love that.
But that's just one of the ways we've given back to society.
Brilliant. I'm a customer of Utility Warehouse, so we've got pretty much everything: broadband, telephone, electricity, gas. What's the other one? Mobile phone.
Yeah, we also do home insurance and boiler insurance.
Boiler insurance, we've got that, which is super duper on speed boiler insurance, because it covers a lot of stuff, doesn't it? Anyway, that's brilliant. And so that's how we know each other, through our profession. Yeah. And then you're doing this challenge. So what's this, and what led you to do it, and what for?
Right, okay. I think it's about getting that balance in life. So my mum passed away 2 years ago. There's a lot of things going on. So I was originally made plans to disappear off for 3 to 6 months. Like Arbon, Utility Warehouse gives that income opportunity to be able to, do other things without worrying about being paid, because you still get paid. And that's really what I was looking to do. I was going to go to South America, all excited. I'm going to go on an adventure. Then I was going to help in the community and see where that took me. COVID hit, had to change plans. So I wanted to walk the Southwest Coastal Path, which is a 630-mile walk around the southwest of Cornwall. Starts in Minehead and finishes in the pool in Dorset. I've actually done 3 sections of it. And so hang on, my thing's come up, so I know I don't want it to cut off. Um, so I've actually done 3 sections of it. I've walked from Land's End to Plymouth over 3 weeks, but I've always wanted to do the whole lot all at once. So I thought, right, why not? My mum introduced me to UW, and I wouldn't be able to do this trip and take 8 to 9 weeks off if I hadn't been introduced to it and also acted on it and built the business. So it's a memory of my mum. She died 2 years ago. So she lived in Clevedon in Somerset. So I thought it'd be really nice just to leave at the place where she liked. It's 80 miles north of where the official path started. And I looked at it, I thought, that's going to take me another week. Yeah, okay, why not? So that's how I started I'm starting in Clevedon. When I've done my calculations, it's actually going to finish on her birthday. So if I'm first, or would have been her birthday. So if I've decided that if I'm faster than I anticipate, I will carry on until the 21st of July, which is her birthday. So,
yeah, just sort of walk a bit slower at the end.
Yeah, no, I'll just carry on because there's a big coast. I'll just carry on into Brighton or
show
wherever.
us behind you. You've got the map behind you.
Yeah, so there's a little map there. So I start here, which is just south of Bristol.
Yeah.
And I walk all the way around here to Land's End, and then all of Cornwall, Devon, Dorset, and then I end up in Poole in Dorset. So it's going to be about 700 miles in total.
A freaking long way, mate.
It is. And I did a practice walk on the weekend, and then you did 30 miles. I'm knackered.
You're going to have breaks and stuff, haven't you? It's sort of Top Gear. Obviously, this is complete opposite because it involves engines, but they're kind of things they do, across Bolivia or whatever, that comes to mind.
Yeah.
But, and that film with Reese is it Reese Witherspoon, the film In the Wild?
Yeah, the Wild. It's a book. I read the book.
Reese Witherspoon, or is that? Yeah. That's Reese Witherspoon.
Yeah. So I've watched the film and I've read the book. Book I prefer. It's more detailed. And yeah, the difference between her and me is about 30 years. So she was about mid-20s when she went, and lugging her rucksack, and I'm in my late 50s and will be lugging my rucksack. So yeah, it's really good. But she's taking a lot more than me. I will be. The nice thing about the Cornish path, or that path, is there's lots of little coves, little cafes, little restaurants. So I will be anticipating to stop off en route and enjoy the journey as well as it being an endurance.
So tell me about you're raising money, obviously, and what are you raising money for and awareness for?
Okay, I'm raising money for, it was Plastic Oceans, they've just changed their name to Ocean Generation. And I thought, well, me walking around the coast is actually really apt. Plus I have had some involvement with recycling and very conscious over the last few years, which I'll come back to in a minute. So I just thought it was really relevant. And what's even better is it's also UW's Charity of the Year. So whatever I raise, UW will match. So I'm looking to raise about £5,000, and UW will add £5,000 to it, and do it by so hopefully that'll be about 10,000. Long way to go, so we'll see.
Fantastic. And what you said? You said you'll come back to the recycling bit. What were you going to say?
So yeah, I mean, it's been. I've been very conscious of it for years. So even back when my kids were young, I was promoting real nappies as opposed to disposable nappies, because interesting enough, I don't know if people have done their research, every nappy is equivalent to 1 cup of crude oil, which is obviously plastics. So that's amazing. So me and the network I produced probably saved about 100,000 nappies and those cups of oil being produced. So that was really important. What I have seen, there doesn't seem to be much progress in the last 20 years. Obviously, since my kids have grown out of nappies, it's not really been, I've not been as aware of it as much as I did then. But, you know, you go into the shops, there's still no cloth nappies on the highlights. The bags still aren't disposable or biodegradable. They're disposable, they're not biodegradable. And I'm thinking there's still a long way to go, unfortunately.
You have to go to different places, don't you? It's like the shops where you can refill instead of buy. You have to go out of your way to go somewhere, which I know is like, well, what hard life, but it's not easy and accessible, is it? It's not there.
No,
on the shop shelf.
No,
where everyone's actually doing their shopping. Yeah.
Absolutely. And if you want to educate, you know, the general public to get to do these things,
Got to be in front of them.
It needs to be accessible. and because I mean, the nice thing is you've got the free from and all the rest of it now in the shop, so people are tempted while they're on the aisles. Okay, I'll try that. So they then start that process. But the nappies, or the biodegradable bags or anything else, you have to get online or you go to a different shop. It's a conscious decision, and what we're trying to do is educate people into trying, and that's where they'll embrace it. It has to be easy. We're lazy as human beings generally.
It's getting there though, isn't it? I've noticed one of the things the program highlighted was wipes are basically plastic.
Yeah.
Which, like, oh my God, really? It feels lovely. It feels like fabric. So firstly, we're sticking them down the toilet, and that's causing all sorts of problems. Secondly, well, if you put it in a bin, it's then still going to cause loads of problems because it's not biodegradable. But I have noticed toilet wipe packs saying plastic free now, but it does sort of beg the question, given how much I've paid for it, which is a really quite a low price. What have you replaced that with? So what you're calling plastic is not in there, but what actually is it made of? Because if it's compostable, again, for example, the Arbonne makeup wipes, they're not £2, because in order to be compostable and have the ingredients they have in, they wouldn't be £2. They are more than that. Do you know what I mean? So there's movement in the right direction. But you're right, mineral oil and petrochemical byproducts are still too heavily used.
Absolutely.
Plastic and everything. Even the sort of what comes out of, well, fibers, synthetic fibers when you wash them, but also laundry tabs and laundry detergent. And what ends up, the bit we never think of goes down the drain, because it's out of sight, out of mind. Once it's gone, it's in the bin or it's down the drain. We don't think about it, do we? Or electricity, the light was on for a while, it's been used, it's gone. Well, it's not just how much you've spent, it's the global warming impact of that, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's interesting. You were sharing earlier on about the thermal.
Yes, the thermal imaging that was on the telly this week. Yeah. Yes, so I'll share that. It was they were looking at, with lockdowns across the world, what impact it did to sort of the red and orange and amber patches across the world, which is lit up like a Christmas tree normally, and it only reduced so far as 2006 levels of what we get, a thermal pickup, I guess, which was like, wow, because we were all thinking, well, it's like back in the 50s or whenever, where there weren't so many streetlights and cars and all of that, but actually no, it didn't take us that far back, so that's quite scary.
I think that the population has a difference. The population is much bigger now than it was back in the 50s. Really, so true. It's not just our impact individually, it's the fact that there's many more of us. I do think that has a contributing fact.
Absolutely. I think what you're doing is amazing. How can we help you?
That'd be lovely. So there's two ways you can help me. Predominantly, I'm looking to raise money, as I said, for Ocean Generation, and their mission is to educate the young, because quite often what we do is we go into recycling mode, which is fine, but actually we shouldn't be using it in the first place. So if we can educate the young to take that on board, then in a generation, cross fingers, plastic will be diminished. So I'm looking to raise money for Ocean Generation. So I've got a Just Giving site, which is justgiving/fundraising, and it's join-Davina.
Wherever you see this posted, make sure you chuck that link in the comments.
I will do. And also separately, because I'm doing this on my own, I'm funding it myself, and I'm generally backpacking, and I will be cold and things sometimes. So if anyone fancies to buy me a coffee, that'd be fantastic. So I've also got a buy me a coffee link as well.
Right off the top of my head now, because we've talked about this about 3 times now, and I know I'm only now thinking, are you going anywhere near Bude?
Yes.
So we've got an Athena member contact in Bude. She's a car lease lady, lovely lady. So I'll introduce you by email and she will hook you up. She's in the business club with me. Awesome. I love it.
Lovely.
Thank you so
That's
much for your
great.
time, Davina. Make sure that you add your socials, everything to the comments so that we can follow you, because I love a
Thank
good
you.
picture, and that you're going to get
Please
some
do.
incredible. Are you taking just your phone as camera, or because I know we talked about you having battery challenges because sometimes you're going to be wild camping, so you're going to want to make sure your phone lasts. Are you going to take a camera as well?
I've got a camera. It's heavy, so there's been the debate of do I take it. I've decided not to take my big lens because that's just adding too much weight. Still having my camera. So I've got my mobile, that'll be the main one. Lots of battery chargers, solar panel. So hopefully it'll all be charged by then. So that'd be fantastic. So yeah, all excited.
Looking forward to seeing it. Okay, I'm going to stop the recording. Thank you so much for coming on, Davina, and best
Thank you
of
very
luck
much.
to you. Well
Lovely.
done.
Okay, thank you.